Recent Ebola epidemic in West Africa confirmed how important communication is in managing infectious threats. This lesson had already been learned in a H1N1 2009 pandemic. In that crisis, a gap in communication and a misunderstanding about the meaning of the word pandemic, followed by a milder than expected evolution of the disease, suggest that the declaration of an emergency had been driven by economic interests. This caused people to lose trust in health authorities and to underestimate risks related to epidemics.
There is often a feeling amongst the public that the policymakers or the decision makers are not revealing or not telling all that they know. There is always this sense of mistrust. And the role of the stakeholders, of the decision makers and the policy makers is to reduce this mistrust and make sure that there is this transparency and that the public feel that they are partners in this process of dealing with an infectious disease crisis.
A SET project was therefore founded by the European Commission in order to bring together people from different research fields, policymakers, the media and citizens as well, in order to produce an action plan to tackle future infectious threats.
This action plan, which has to be set up, both by the world of scientists and all the stakeholders coming from the civil societies, the general population, should produce a sort of common understanding, but also a common approach to a possible future pandemic crisis.
We are very confident to be able to build some tools to be used for communicate successfully to the population health risks and the example of communicable disease, and in particular pandemics, influenza epidemics, are the optimal situation where to test these tools.
In addition to mutual learning among different expertises, the second key point of the project is mobilization. There will be several different global and local activities and citizens' consultations.
8 countries at least will be involved in citizen consultations, so we will have a lot of knowledge on how people react to these questions throughout Europe.
Experts will analyze the influence of modern social media in the dissemination of information and misinformation too, in order to develop new way of communication.
Classical media are not enough. We cannot rely only on scientific publication. That is our traditional way to communicate results. But we have to deal with social media, we have to deal with networks, with internet, we have to deal with new communication protagonists, like the women, like the young people.
Long-term outcome, we'll see the end come, never sick again from the H1N1.
And we have to invent a new language that can perforate these walls that are taking bad results, because at the end, public health is suffering of those needs.
We are really excited to be involved in the project because it's not top-down but bottom-up, and we hope to bring in the perspective of citizens.
We will get assets into our network, which is a worldwide network, and our focus will be to lift epidemics and pandemics into the total concept of emergency and disaster management.
One key issue about this project is to try to use any lever to improve the awareness of the public, to the involvement of the citizens. We will try to use the music in order to increase this awareness, to to impact their right brain in complement of the left brain, and to try to communicate more messages in a more efficient way.
I like a lot of this project because it's very good for the kind of research I do, which is strongly multidisciplinary. Indeed, the aim of this project are visionary, with respect to develop strategy and guidelines that could help health national authorities to cope with pandemics. Projects without strong challenge are not interesting projects, and this is a very interesting project.